the holiday workshop for the Giving Tree in Boca Raton. It is December 2018. Volunteers for the organization, the Pride of Temple Bethel, are wrapping and packing Christmas gifts for needy children. They have been doing this for almost 30 years. The program was founded by Myra Singer.
It got started when a friend called and asked if I would buy gifts for a family for Christmas. That sounded like something I wanted to do because everybody's always looking for something when you get the spirit and you don't know what to do, and I was thrilled. So I did it. The next year I called her and I said, I'd like to take a couple of families and I'll get some friends to take families. And she said, I can't do it anymore. And I thought, I can't let that ball drop.
And she didn't. Today, hundreds of volunteers pass through this area workspace, organizing gift bags for thousands of children and seniors in this area. And no one is paid. Leslie Steinberg.
I moved here about 15 years ago, and within months of moving here, I got a call from Myra Singer, and that was it. I was hooked. And I came in sort of initially to help them organize, because my strength is not gift wrapping, it's organizing. And it's just been a wonderful 14-year journey working with the Giving Tree. And really, it's just, to bring a little joy, a little kindness, a little dignity, where otherwise there isn't much for people. It's the gift for me. I feel like every single day that I can do that, I'm getting a bigger gift than I'm giving. So
the basic idea is for all kids and now some seniors to have at least one happy day of getting whatever they want. So we have kids make out wish lists earlier in the year, around September, August, sometimes October, whatever, so that we know exactly what they want, exactly what size they are, what they've been dreaming about. And we try to give them at least one thing that's really special to them.
Each child's wish is translated onto a card like this and put up on a Giving Tree. Donors pick a card and fill the wishes. Electronic wish cards are also available. The child never knows who the donor is.
There's so many children that just don't have anything, and for the most part, the people that are taking the cards are fortunate enough to be able to take care of their children or their grandchildren. And many of these children are getting gifts that they probably never would have dreamed that they would have had the opportunity to get or to use. So it's very special for these children.
we work with 20 local social service agencies who refer client lists to us, and we try to fill their specific wish lists, which is what makes us different. If we get a wish list, if a child has asked for a Hello Kitty t-shirt, we try our best to make sure that child gets a Hello Kitty t-shirt and the specific toy that they asked for, because most of the year that's not the case for them. So and so that's really the focus of our holiday project, treating each child as if they're one of our own. When we go out shopping with any of our shoppers, we spend a lot of time looking at things and trying to figure out, is this what the kid wanted? Is this the right size? Is this the right style? And really trying to put that special touch like we would for our own visits.
Also stuff that they need, things like towels for families, Christmas dinner for many families, eyeglasses for some kids, if that's what they need, shoes for a lot of kids, and that's how it's grown.
And when the families go out and shop, what typically might be on their wish list card?
Depends on the agency. So some of the agencies give very specific things. You ask for clothes, you ask for a book, you ask for a toy. Other agencies don't give direction. And we've given everything from iPads to expensive toys to name brand clothing, designer clothing, and everywhere in between.
And how is that possible? What makes that possible to be able to give such generous gifts?
Because people really care, and the people who take the cards are doing it out of the goodness of their hearts, and they know that they can afford to do it.
So they'll just go shopping.
And they just go shopping, and they do it online. I mean, now that you can do it online, it's very, very easy. But I think that there are also, you're picking this out for a child who would not have it. So I took my granddaughter, who's 4 years old. This is the second year that I've given her a card for a 4-year-old girl, and and explained to her that these are for gifts for someone whose mommy and daddy can't afford to buy them. And she got it, that, she picked out the Barbie doll and knew she wasn't getting it. So I think that there's a lot of that going on also, that we're teaching kids at a young age to give back. And the Giving Tree gives that opportunity.
Of course, there are many people in need in Boca Raton. We have Section 8 public housing in Boca Raton. We have what I have learned more and more over the years, working poor. I got an email from a mother this year. She's on Medicaid and food stamps. Her son's birthday is in January. She said she'll do something special for the day with him on his birthday, but if we could just help out with some new clothes for the holiday. She's not attached to a local social service agency. She is just a woman who's working 2 jobs. She says, I know things will get better, whatever you can do. We loaded her up. I mean, one donor took that on and said, I am going to just make this holiday so special for this family. The mother and son came to pick up. They were sobbing. I mean, they just really had never experienced anything like that. So there's people like that. There's working poor. There's people who, are living in public housing and Section 8 housing. There's so many reasons that people are down on their luck, and a lot of times it could be anybody. It could be anybody. It's not, one paycheck away, or, a spouse passes away, or, we never know what it is that's going to move somebody from comfort to a situation where they don't have.
Child wish bags are packaged. Each one of these bags is for a single child, and many times the bags are filled in with additional gifts from generous corporate donors.
So I was here one day, probably about 3 or 4 weeks ago, and a truck arrived with toys from a toy distributor. There must have been 50 boxes of toys, and each box had a dozen dolls, a dozen trucks, a dozen sets of Legos, and it was overwhelming, and this is all donated.
The Giving Tree has books of cards like these from the kids thanking them for what they have done. It can be more than a holiday gift.
One family I'm thinking of was a grandmother who got custody of 4 grandchildren, all teenagers, who were all in high school and seeing the kids in high school having the kinds of things that they want. They were living on the street. And it was a long process. We helped that family furnish a house eventually, help the kids get what they need, even basics like soap and toilet paper and basic clothing. And it ended up with one of the kids, we even helped her get orthodontia that she needed. And I think we changed the lives of that family. They now help us with the Giving Tree, because that grandmother decided that they shouldn't just get, but they should learn how to give. And through the years, they come and work with us. They wrap, they come on Christmas Eve and work with us. Now a couple of those kids are in college and doing well.
Temple Bethel is a synagogue in Boca Raton. All of these volunteers are, for the most part, Jewish, making sure that Christmas is going to be special. Why is it important for Jewish people to bring Christmas?
It's important for everybody to make Christmas brighter, and we have expanded so much beyond Temple Bethel with our volunteers, Jewish and non-Jewish, but the Jewish value of, responsibility for our community and responsibility for taking care of those who maybe aren't as able to take care of themselves is something that for me has been ingrained in my family and my traditions and through our temple, and it's the temple community, our temple community, which is what resonated for me when I moved here, is that's so ingrained from our clergy, staff and on down, is that, we do have a responsibility to fill the holes, lift people up in our community, and whatever way we can do that is what we try to do.
It is Christmas Eve. The volunteers gather at the Wayne Barton Center community agency near Dixie Manor. First, they meet up with the director, Wayne Barton.
So the homes that you're going to go to tonight is going to be disability people with disabled. You're going to have single mothers. You're going to have a mixed population of people that you're going to bless tonight by your kindness, your smile.
And then they are off, this time to the streets of Dixie Manor. They are accompanied by trucks filled with bags of gifts, one bag for each child. At the location, volunteers take bags and with Santa Claus deliver them to their homes. A food truck delivering a full Christmas meal follows.
It is an amazing experience when we go to Dixie Manor and we give out those gifts. You can just see when you walk into some of these houses that they are very sparsely furnished and they may not have had gifts. And here are these strangers coming into their home with bags and bags and bags of things and dinners, and it just makes them feel like somebody cares.
When we start out and we know that we've now committed to 2,000 kids, you have that little lump in your throat and you're like, how am I going to make it happen? And this is how we make it happen, that this community comes together to just make it happen. And there is no one single person who's more important than another single person. Every single contribution, from a donation to a wish list to a volunteer, makes the difference. And I guess that's what I'm most proud of, is that all of this. It is truly a labor of love and a community-wide effort.